Okay, let's have a look at a bit more details on the database diagrams. So if we open up the one we created previously, going to modify. Okay, and we've got customer table. Let's add a new column to the customer table. So first of all, if we go into tables and we go to sales customer, select top 1000 rows. So we've got modified date, those are all the columns. If we go into here, we can add another one. Let's call it last updated date. As default, it comes with an nchar, so obviously we don't want to use nchar, so we want just a date time. Tab off it. Okay, we're going to allow nulls. Yeah, we'll have to allow nulls because obviously it's an existing table, unless we gave it a default, we gave it a value. So if we click off that, that hasn't actually happened yet till we actually save the changes. But if you click on this little icon here, it creates a generate change script. So if we do that now, it will actually give us the script that we would need to run. If you look, it's doing an alter table, last update not null. Do you want to save this changes to the script file? If we go yes, it's just actually giving us a value where we'll save it. So if we actually physically save it, it's then going to actually make those changes for us. The following tables will be saved to your database, customer.sales. Yes. Okay. Right, what it's saying here, it's unable to modify the table, only allow columns that contain nulls who have default values on them. So if we OK that, come out, last updated, and we are going to allow nulls this time, and then click save, and yes. So we don't get the error message. So if we look at that table again, what we will need to do is change this to a select star so we can see all the columns. Okay, so we've got last updated date, so that has actually gone through and made those changes for us. Word of warning with this, it's best if you script it out and run it as a script. Some things, if you run against a large table and run through the GUI, they can time out, but they won't time out when you're running as a table. So let's go back in. So basically we added a new column in. We also can revert that. We can delete columns. So let's delete the column we've created so we don't mess up Adventure Works. If we delete that and look at the script again, it's going to do a alter table drop column. We don't want to save the script because all that is doing is physically saving the file out, but we want to save it. And again, click yes. So if we do the select star again, we notice our last updated column has now disappeared. So you can add, remove and things like that. What about renaming columns? Shall we call, if we wanted to rename that and last name to underscore, and look at the change script again. As you can see, it's actually going to do a rename on all those columns. Obviously, if you're going to make changes, you need to ensure that indexes and the other relationships. This is just an example of what you do, not that you would do that particular thing in this particular table. So there's various things you can do. You can also create a new table. Create my table. One thing to be aware of, it's not going to allow things like that, or will it? Let's see. So we'll create an int. We'll call it ID. And again, in varchar we don't want. We just want it as an int, not an image. So if we go to int, and we'll just have a second column as report date. I'm not going to populate these. These are just example, but we'll just do it as a date time column. Okay. Notice they both default as allow nulls. If we create this one as a primary key, set primary key, it automatically changes to not allow nulls because a primary key doesn't allow nulls. Okay, so if we go to our change script and see what it's done, if you've noticed, it's actually put brackets around, so it would actually allow us to create a table with a space in, but obviously that's not best practice. So we're not going to do that. But you could create those tables through there, and come out of these and say no, I don't want to save it, back to where we were.